Hello and welcome. I'm Nick.
I'm Dom.
Noah.
And today is Survivor Season 44, Episode 2 recap and review on Top Notch Boards. We got Dom, the Survivor rookie. We got Noah, the Huberman today. The Survivor veteran, the Hall of Famer, the guy that knows everything. No, am I missing anything here?
He's missing a lot.
I don't know half as much as most people who actually are on the show, but sure, let's go with all
No,
those
you've
titles.
watched almost every season, but how many now?
I've missed the past 2 or 3.
Yeah, but besides that, he's watched every single one. And this show's older than me, him, and Dom. So, long story short, okay? Tony can't make it today. Tony, we'll see you when you get back. We got a few things to discuss. You know, we got the Tika tribe, the Soka tribe, the Ratu tribe, and blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to go by the color. Long story short, let's start with a few things. So, we're going to go over some spoilers here. The first thing I want to mention is something that we mentioned on the first episode, but Snow was not here. Matt from the Green Tribe and Franny from the Green Tribe. I question, will their, relationship, their, romance get caught? And in this episode, we finally start seeing it get caught. Dom, I'll let you speak on that for a little bit. Noah, then you. So Dom, start with you first.
In the very beginning, we see that they start getting closer and closer, and we see about Mike or Michael,
Matt.
Matt on how he starts to feel about Franny. Now, if you notice, we get a lot of what Matt thinks about Franny, but we don't really see what Franny thinks of Matt. Like, for instance, Matt is saying that he likes her and really wants to get with her, yet Franny just says that, they click. That's all. That she's not saying that they're that she wants to be with him or anything. But then we get an insight of who's the person who sat out, the woman?
Claire.
She's about the only person who spoke on it outside of them two. She speaks on how their relationship is starting to bloom a little bit. Their relationship is starting to bloom and it's starting to be seen. I think she said that it could be a problem. I think she said that to Franny, but not Matthew. She made sure to say something to Franny, but not Matthew, that it could be a problem and that to possibly not trust him.
Absolutely. So now, Noah, the expert here, man, how many times have we seen a romance like this go bad?
The only one I remember working was Boston Rob and his wife in like season 7 or 8.
Yep.
Because Boston Rob got screwed by a bunch of people who said, "Oh, but she was so nice."
Yep.
But ever since then, most of the people on Survivor are huge fans. Like, they make me look like I don't even know shit because I don't know that much. They see anything close to a relationship and they cut it off. One of those two people will be gone probably the first time they lose a challenge.
Absolutely. So again, and this is a tribe that hasn't lost yet, right? I'm not wrong here. I think they've won every single challenge.
They're the only tribe with all 6 people, I think.
Yeah,
they were first place twice, and then this was the only, right? Twice?
Yes, this is the only time that they almost lost. Almost lost. Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. So speaking on that, so that was that relationship. But now we got to stay on that tribe real fast because the only other piece that we get, because that tribe really, the Soka tribe really has not been talked about a lot in the last 2 episodes. But the only other thing we see is Danny with the hidden immunity idol. He finds a key, he opens a cage, and not only does he open the cage without anyone around him, he grabs a bag out, grabs the immunity idol, grabs that little tiny fake immunity, right? No, I believe that's what it was.
They have a fake. Mm-hmm. All 3 of the bags had an idol and a fake idol.
Perfect.
It was a little silver coin.
It was different for each tribe, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he grabs it out, and then he does something that I feel like is genius. He puts the bag back in the cage, locks it back up like he never got it before. Did any of you think of that when he first did it to do that? Would you have done it?
No.
Neither.
I saw him do it, and it was like an obvious idea after I saw him do it, but up until that point, I never would have even considered. I would just been like, "Oh, look at that! Someone has whatever was in that bag."
Absolutely.
Almost said idol.
Yep. Well, exactly. And then not only that, then you go to Carolyn, who I wasn't a big fan of after the first episode, but she kind of grew on me at this episode because, she goes there, she opens it up with the key, she finds a key, she opens it up, all four of the other ones are all walking together in a path and stuff. She opens it up, she grabs it out, she closes it, she runs back just like I would, not thinking to put the bag back. I would have never thought about that. She shoves it in her pants. She lays down like she just won the lottery. And then she's like, oh my God, the bag. What am I? So she hurries up. She runs back, right, all over the place, distressed, looking. Carolyn's a little bit crazy. Shoves it back in, hurries up, closes it, and here comes the tribal walking by her now. And she got it just in the nick of time. Well, wouldn't you know, she's in the ocean doing her hair and, in the water, just getting washed. And the other four start getting paranoid. They see the bag. Carson notices, he says, someone got that bag. It's a little bit open. Genius by Carson. Dom, you got to say something. I'll let Noah speak on it then too.
Here's a little foreshadowing. Guess who speaks for Carolyn right away?
Who's that?
Jam.
That's true.
Right away. Speaks for her right away. All right, Noah.
That is true, because know what? They probably had an alliance then before that. Noah, what were you going to say?
It's a foreshadow.
They didn't have an actual alliance. It was just Jam felt like Carolyn was the only other weirdo of the group, which is strange because their entire team's kind of weird.
It is. No, it really is. It's a very strange group.
Carson's talking about how he studied all the FBI profile and stuff, and then he missed. If it wasn't Carolyn, she was so obviously hiding him. He's like, oh. But since she's so weird, he had no idea how to read her.
Exactly. Because she just, did anyone notice when she fell on the ground when Carson was talking to her? She's rolling in the sand.
I'm not normal.
Because
how can we miss the fact of her talking about how she dug through her son's crap to find a tooth?
That shows you how dedicated she is as a mother to get the tooth for that kid. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm digging through the poop to get a tooth out. I might just act like a fake tooth or something at that point, or pretend the second tooth is the first tooth. But anyway, that's besides the point. All right.
Was probably like, oh my God.
All right, now the Tika tribe, like we said, they lose, they get paranoia, right? So now they start going around, like we said, Carson starts to blame Helen, they start to do all kinds of things, and they start to try to find out who has the idol. Ultimately, all that we know from this is that they do not find the idol. They don't know who has it. I don't believe Carolyn did anything. But before we even talk about that, I do want to go back and mention something that happened earlier in the challenge. Dom, I think you want to speak on Matt from the Orange team. He's there, and I'm like, where's his sling? He just dislocated his shoulder. He ultimately does the final piece, which is what would you even call that? The rope balancing puzzle thing?
I don't really know what to call it. They've done the challenge before, which is why Matt knew it, because of course him and Carson both made their own versions of the challenges to practice ahead of time, because of course that's something they would do.
Exactly.
On Instagram, I saw a 10-year-old do that exact same puzzle.
Yeah,
it's not that hard after you try it a few times. It's just Jeff said it 15 times, and honestly, a few more than you needed to. There's a learning curve, a steep learning curve.
Yep, and that's something too. I'm going to say this right now, and again, like Noah's a damn genius. A Survivor. If you want a contestant, bring the Huberman on. I will love to see. He's actually a genius. He's in computer science.
2 is 4.
Would you do it? If they gave you an opportunity, would you do it?
Why the hell not?
Tom, let's sign him up. We'll sign him up.
I feel it could be hard to get the video submission thing without me giving it to you.
Yeah, listen, I will make a montage of clips of you and be like, we got it. This is the next Carolyn and Carson combined into one. All right. Now let's get this thing wrapped up. We're almost done because we got things to do after this. So, Dom, I want you to mention, though, talk about Matt, though. Again, dislocated shoulder, phenomenal job of that challenge. What does that shows you his heart, and he actually did it, too. Dom?
What? Was that Hube? What did Hube say?
He's faking it. Didn't actually dislocate it. The doctors are lying to mess with us.
Yep. Dom, what do you think, Dom?
Well, just think of Matt in general and how he did
With
today.
doing that challenge after a dislocated shoulder.
Very proud of him. Very proud of him. He stepped up when he needed to, and he did what he needed to do. Like, he did it first try. He was focused. He didn't let anybody get in his head. Their team was a little behind as well. And when Brandon stepped up, got the stairs up or ladder up, Matt ran and he got it. He did what he needed to do. He didn't let the time or the pressure get to his head, and he just did it and caused them to win the first place.
And ultimately, too, for the Green Tribe Soccer, it was between Sarah, who I also like, and it was between Sarah and Josh from the Green Tribe. And Josh got it done. They were both messing up, falling off. And then Josh ultimately got it. Congrats to Josh at Green Tribe. He goes again. Purple Tribe gets sent, and now they have to do a vote. Now, we did not know. All of a sudden, the four of them were all talking about possibly voting out Carolyn. And then we see Jolly Jam, take off running. Carolyn, sprint.
He literally did that.
And he tells Carolyn, they're going for you. And she starts thinking, she's like, do I tell them I have the idol? Like, the whole time she was like, did not know what to do with the idol. Do they tell him? Does she not tell him? Does she use it? Does she not use it? We all know Carolyn has like 1,000 things going on in her head. Ultimately, they pull Carson. They say, Carson, vote with us. Vote with us. She kind of looks like that. No, she does that sometimes too. But anyway, she gets Carson to go, and Carson says, I will side with you. I will side with you. Now, whether or not he was going to do it or not was a completely different story. Ultimately, how the tribal council goes, the three of them all vote for Helen. Helen votes for Carolyn. Carolyn does not play her idol, which I thought she should. I was screaming, play your idol if you want to be safe. She didn't play it. She saves the idol. They vote out Helen. She still has it. Nobody knows about it. And now Sarah will be able to vote at the next tribal council. Real fast recapping that. Dom, what do you think about Carolyn's non-use of the idol and having that work out? And then I'll also ask you guys about Carson. What do you think about his decision? So Dom, I'll start with you and then I'll go to Noah.
She bit the bullet. She took the chance and it was the right decision. And a game like Survivor, you got to take those type of decisions, those type of risks. And it's either going to be a higher risk and a high reward. And she got the high reward. Now she's still in the tribe, yet she has that tribe or that immunity, and nobody knows that she still has that. So she's in a very good spot.
Absolutely. No, what do you think about this?
Last week Brandon played his idol. It was the right move, regardless of if you didn't think he was getting a single vote, because if people know you have an idol, you are always a target. So you get rid of that idol so you can have a chance. If you're right and they did vote for you and you're just like, whoa, you save yourself. And even if they don't vote for you, they're no longer going to target you because of an idol.
Absolutely. You get the target.
Carolyn not playing it is different because no one knows about it. I think she's going to end up telling Jam and probably her entire tribe at some point because she's kind of insane, but
that's besides the point.
Which will probably get her voted off, honestly, because I think she will eventually tell someone she shouldn't.
Yep.
But for now, if I'm wrong and she continues to not tell people, it's a great move because an idol is insanely powerful.
Absolutely. And I mean, I just went back and watched Russell Hand's clips last night. That guy was insane. He wouldn't even play the idols for himself. He would literally give the idols to other people and tell them when to play, and he was always right. Like, I watched the Heroes versus Villains, and he got out robbed. I watched just clips of Russell. He was phenomenal, and then he ultimately lost in the end. But the whole thing is this. This is what I want to mention now because we got 8 minutes left, and I'm not going to use all 8 minutes, but I do want to say this. 2 things now. I want a prediction of what we think. So, number one, my first thing I want to predict is, what do we think? Who's the weakest tribe here? Dom, who do you think is the weakest tribe left in the game?
I'm going to have to say the purple, unfortunately. Why? They're all over the place, to be honest with you. I mean, green, they've been great for the past three challenges. This is the first time they got second place, but they still did it and they did it cleanly. Ratu, they started off shaky, but they ultimately pulled together as a group and became stronger. Purple, they started off great, in my opinion, but then they kind of just trickled down after they lost Bruce, and now what just happened with Helen, and it's just, I feel like that trust that they had as a family, as Jam said, is starting to trickle down and start to break.
Absolutely. And no, I assume you agree, correct?
Yeah, purple was a mess. Jam
So
Jam is their strong guy, and I don't think he's as strong as they think. I think he's just a bigger guy, and they're like, oh yeah, he's the strong one.
yes.
No.
No, yeah. I agree with that.
I think Sarah's got some strength to her.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Noah. Being the guy here, you've watched most of the season. I know you don't claim to be an expert, but I claim you to be our expert. How much longer until we see a switch of tribes or a merge here? I mean, when are we going to see something? Are we going to see it soon? Because, I mean, purple's kind of trickling down, and they got to do something, I feel like.
They have had a season with 3 tribes that got cut to 2, and then the final 4, the 2 people from the tribe, the last 2 people on the first tribe were in the final 4. They were the 2 people were getting voted for, and then the other 2 people basically decided who won the game. The woman who won went to every single tribal and never had a single immunity.
Wow.
Because her tribe lost challenge after challenge until it was the final 4, and they voted her in over the other guy who had been physically saving himself with idols and winning challenges. Whoever they let in was going to win, and they just chose her because they chose the woman in the situation because they just thought their chance was a little better.
So let me ask you, do you suspect a switch next episode, or do you think one more episode after this maybe, or do you think not at all? I mean, what
this is the New School Survivor, there's always a switch. If they do it now, there's 15 people, so it'd be 3 tribes of 5. I think they're gonna wait one more week and then 2 tribes of 7.
I think so. Yeah. So is that what we're thinking that we're gonna see a switch then 2 weeks from now?
Probably if they do it next week, I think they'll go down to 2 tribes anyway, but have one person on like the exiled situation where they're alone for the few days and then they replace the person who got voted out. Because they've done that in the past.
Then, though.
I'd be shocked. They don't like to leave people alone for too long. They like to mix things up so you can see people interact with each other before the merge. And like, oh hey, what's your name, man? And
exactly.
They're 10 days away from the final.
Yeah. So listen, that's our prediction then. Our prediction is gonna be that right now the purple tribe's probably the weakest. We don't know if they're gonna win this next. I don't know. So that very well means that they might be getting voted off. Someone from that tribe might be getting voted off again. And they're the fan favorite right now. Of all the tribes, they're definitely the fan favorite. Long story short, last thing I want to mention is this. We do feel like a switch of tribes is coming on in the next 2 episodes. We're going to be seeing it. There's a good chance. Besides that, Dom, we got your final thing. The You Rock of the Week. Who are you giving rock to?
I think he deserved this after showing out today. The You Rock reward, I think deserved.
Rock of the Week.
You Rock of the Week is deserved to Matt. Ratu Matt. Not Green Matt. Ratu Matt. Ironic, the thing's green, but definitely Ratu Matt. I think he deserves it. Rock of the Week, baby. Right here.
For the challenge, I'm guessing, right?
Oh, yeah.
100%. Absolutely. Doing that with a dislocated shoulder is definitely tough.
Danny, although Noah thinks it's a lie.
It's Danny.
All right. Honest Abe's lock of the week is Danny. Why do you think Danny?
His personality lets him get away with stuff. It kind of reminds me of Tony's first season.
Yes.
Because he's just running around with all this energy that no one else on his team has or could have, and it lets him get away with stuff the rest of them can't.
Claire literally
idol.
Yeah. She was like the lazy leader. I mean, that just blew my mind.
He gets to do so much extra stuff because his tribe just always assumes he's doing stuff that they're like, oh, Danny's just off in the woods getting more wood. And then he walks back 10 minutes later. He's checked 17 trees for idols and he comes back with a stack of firewood.
Exactly. How about Kane? No one mentioned Kane. Kane was literally doing that.
He's scared. He's so scared.
He found a crab in a tree looking for a tree.
He doesn't need to be that scared. No. I don't think Brandon gives a shit.
No, he does. Brandon literally said he took it hard. I think he cares. I think Brandon cares a lot, actually.
All right, final thing.
If Brandon cares that much, he's not going to win.
I agree with that, too, because you can't have it personal like that. Last thing I'm going to say is this. Just 3 quick names. I got to hear it. And this is actually officially, I got my 3 written down. Who do you think, if the next tribal council goes, give me one person on each tribe that's going to get voted off, in your opinion? Dom, I'm going to start with you. Who do you think for the green tribe? If one person gets voted off, who do you got?
Claire.
Noah?
Claire.
I think Matt. I think they're gonna try to split up that power couple. If it's somebody there, I think it would be Matt over Franny.
And Claire's gonna instigate it.
You know what? I meant Franny.
Franny then? All right, so you're going Franny over Matt? Or
I'm going Franny.
Oh, that's
Okay.
so hard.
Dom, you're going Claire?
I think I'm gonna go Claire.
All right. Next, the Purple Tribe. If someone from the Purple Tika is voted off, Dom, who do you got?
So, oh boy. I don't think it's gonna be Caroline. Not Jam Jam.
Who's
And
the
then
fourth
it's
person?
Carson, and then is there one more person?
Yes,
Sarah,
Sarah.
right?
Sarah. I think it's Sarah.
I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be Sarah. I think it's gonna be Caroline.
All right.
I still think it's gonna be Caroline.
You think they're gonna blindside her somehow? I'm gonna go Sarah as well here. I think that they are kind of a family. I just don't see them splitting up right now. Last one, Orange. If Orange is there, who gets voted out? Dom, then Noah, then me, and then we'll wrap it up.
Oh, stop making me go first. This is tough. So I think Kane.
Noah.
I think it's Warren.
I want it to be Lauren. She had the double vote. I think the next travel she uses it.
They know something's going on.
Didn't she
I don't know
say
if
that she
anyone
has the
will-
double vote?
No,
I don't
she
think so.
told nobody.
She-
I don't think she told nobody.
Are
So,
you sure?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think she just told him she lost her vote at the first one.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say is I think Kane as well.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's all. I think we got 30 seconds left on the Zoom call. So we'll see you guys soon for next episode next week. I can't wait to see what happens. We'll see you guys soon. Peace. We are Built Betters.